Yeah. This was 3 days before the primary.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I was on my way to an event, and my wife Giselle, she's like, you're having a stroke, because they had that classic kinds of where half of my face. I didn't know that, but it kind of just
Slumped.
yeah, and then they hotlined me over to the hospital, and I wouldn't have survived if we were in a different. I mean, there's parts of Pennsylvania, and that's part of the tragic, that if I wasn't close to the kinds of hospital that I was, it's 100% that I wouldn't have survived that.
Wow.
And it got me there in enough time, and they were able to. There was an expert there, and I actually I met that doctor that literally saved my life. And I'm like, oh my God. And he usually wasn't based in that hospital. He was usually out of Delaware, but he happened to be there.
Wow.
And he was here to give me an award for being that kind of an advocate for those things. I'm like, no, you deserve the award on that. And
That's incredibly lucky.
Yeah, and then I asked, really looking for like a countdown of like, well, what's the prognosis? And there wasn't much there on that, and I had to was I going to survive for long, or what's that going to look? And then of course, the entire majority on the Senate really was on the middle of that, and that's a big responsibility after that. And then so the primary. It happened, and then I actually had a really strong win, and I won all of 67 counties. Pennsylvania has 67 counties, and we carried every county, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and all across Pennsylvania. But at that point, I had a responsibility. It's like, am I able to recover, or am I going to be okay? And I wouldn't recommend being in that situation. But I made a commitment. More than anything, I was more worried about being around to be a dad. I mean, I have three young kids, and my wife, she lived through all of this. So at that point, it started. I was in the hospital for about 10 days.
Jeez.
And I start to get better and better. The strength started to come back a little bit, but it was still rough. And it was very, very clear, though, that I had a capacity to. It's been impaired on hearing and those kinds of interaction and those things. But that's the thing.